Well, oh. Mm-mm. Well, hello, my wonderful broses of my nation, and welcome to. Wait, welcome, wonderful broses of my. I'm the Dark Shadow Maverick, and welcome to yet another What If, Part 3 of What If Izuku Midoriya was Deadpool, or had his powers, or whatever the shit. Don't worry, I remember the name of the freaking What If. Just whatever. Anyways, last time, basically, Izuku had kicked Norman's ass, and he had to be saved by Kirogiri. Love you. 7 that for whenever I need it the most. And basically, where we left off, Izuku and Deadpool has basically kicked Norman Osborn as freaking the Green Goblin's ass, and then he had to get his ass saved by Kirogiri. And then, because, Shigaraki was pissing him off, Otto Octavius, freaking Dr. Octopus, Doc Ock, basically smacked the shit out of him. And it was revealed that these two are part of the League of Villains, like, villains for hire. They're basically like a League of Villains, they're like villains for hire of them. And, now shit's going to go down because, damn. So, what exactly would we do after that? I'm not exactly sure what position where we would be at. I might have to enter my video. I have to pause this. Oh, hello everybody again, and whatever I was saying before, I am terribly sorry. It just took me a while to re-register everything in my brain again about what happened in part 2. And so basically when we left off, you know, the whole Norman and the whole Otto thing being a part of the League of Villains, like villains for hire, that's happened. And now it's basically the day of, well, basically, like, Izuku's in class and he's just, like, writing more stuff down as he starts to figure stuff out. And then all of a sudden, boom! I am here! Freaking All Might. Freaking All Might comes in. And he's just like, yes. It's time for what will be known as Heroes versus Villains. Gotta clear my damn throat. Shit. Sorry if that busted anybody's eardrums, but I had to clear my freaking throat. Anyways, uh, da, da, da. Basically, Zuko would be like, heroes versus villains. And that would basically remind him about what happened, like, with, you know, the Green Goblin and Shigaraki and Kirogiri. he would know about Shigaraki and Kirogiri before anybody else would, before even the USJ attack, because of the whole thing with Norman. But he wouldn't know about, Otto Octavius being, Doc Ock. He wouldn't know about that because he wasn't there to see that. So that would be the one surprise that he would have. And, Izuku would just be like, here's versus villains. Seems interesting. And it's like teams of two heroes, two villains. And the villains will go in first and plant the bomb, and the heroes will go in second, and they will have to either knock out both villains or get the bomb and touch it. And Izuku's just like, that doesn't really seem all that hard. And he's just like, who am I gonna be paired up with? And the childish Deadpool and the sophisticated Deadpool are both just like, why do you even care? And regular Deadpool, like OG DP, would just be like, he cares because he, should care. If anything, he's probably the smartest out of most of us. I mean, I have all the knowledge from my entire life before this happened to me, so we probably rival each other in smarts. If anything is to be said about it, though, if anything is to be said about it, though, you know, he's probably the smartest. He's probably the smartest out of most of us. So yeah, that's probably why he's not too worried. And he's just like, yeah, but who would I be paired up with? And then we would just like someone would come out of nowhere, and Izuku would be like, "Oh shit!" And it would just be like, Izuku, I heard I'm paired up with you." And Izuku would just be like, "Wait, Gravity Girl is paired up with me? Okay then. Okay, possible love interest is paired up with main character for the part of the story which is called Heroes versus Villains." He just writes that in his book. He's like, done. And, Uraka just looks at him funny. And he's just like, that's right, she has no idea. And I hope it stays that way. And so basically, the teams are going to be like how they were in canon. So it's gonna be Bakugo and Ida. And basically, Izuku would be like, you try to, get to that Ida kid, get to the bomb too while you're at it. He he's like, Uraka would just be like, okay. And basically, she would just go up there, make herself lighter so that she could go up there really fast. And then all of a sudden, Ida would be like, wait, what? How did you get out here so fast? Light as a balloon, that's how. And Izuku would just be like, come on, Kachan. I know you're just I know you just want that chance to come and get me. And Bakugo just comes out of nowhere, and before he even gets down to the bottom of the steps, he just lunges himself, like at the middle of the steps. He goes and lunges himself at freaking Izuku. And Izuku's just like, with force wall breaking powers. It's like, ding! And just stops time. And like, Bakugo's frozen. You're just like, well, what should I do with you? And he's just like, oh yeah, that's right. And he just unfreezes time, and Bakugo falls to the floor. And he's just like, the hell was that, nerd? And Izuku's like, nerd? That's right. Not to put on the mask so that nobody knew. This is as much of my superhero suit as I could put on as my hero suit. Well, also minus most of the lethal weapons. Reminds me of Lethal Weapon. And, Bakugo would be like, don't you damn ignore me, nerd! And he's just like, and it's just like freaking stun grenades and like right in the face. And then before he's even able to see the outcome, he goes straight for the AP like shotgun thing and just be like, "Die, nerd!" And Izuku was just like, "Damn it, Kachan. I guess brace yourself for this one." And he's just like, "Bink," and just teleports behind Bakugo, and Bakugo's like, "What the hell? They didn't say I couldn't use my teleporter." Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. And like every time Bakugo shoots an explosion at him, just bink, 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 bink. And like Bakugo's tired out now. He's just like, damn nerd. And Izuku's like, is that the only insult you can come up with, Kachan? What about quirk? What about quirkless Deku? Quirkless, nothing. Basically, quirkless and worthless. Because that's basically what Deku means. Worthless, right? Funny. I'm supposed to be the worthless one, yet you can't even hit me. Not once. Not once did I get a scratch, yet you're tired out like you just ran a marathon. Dude, not cool. You're making me look like a villain doing this to you. But that's not my part in the story. My part in the story is to not only be a hero, but one day to become the number one hero. And whenever Bakugo hears this, he's like, no way in hell you're going to become the number one. I'm the number one. I am the only one who gets to be the number one. And Izuku's just like, exactly why you'll never be the number one. You're too full of yourself. And he's just like, bink. Behind him, he's just like, so allow me to take your ego down a peg. Just like, shink. And the freaking teachers are just like, wait, I thought those swords weren't supposed to be able to cut in, like, deep. And Izuku's just like thinking in his head, what they don't know is, I can also teleport things to me and teleport things away from me. So those useless swords, gone. The useful ones, actually here. He basically just won up the teachers by switching up like the gear. Like now he has all of his OG gear, and so basically he just stabbed like Kachan almost all the way right through. And remember, I said almost all the way right through. So not completely. He just like stabbed him in really deep. And he's like, "Is your ego down a peg yet, Kachan? Or do I have to go even deeper? 'Cause believe me, I will if I have to." And Kachan is just like, damn, the nerd. What makes you think you'll be able to get away with something like that? And Izuku's like, don't know, don't care. And whenever Kachan hears this come from Izuku, and he's just like, what do you mean, don't know, don't care? And he's just like, well, as it is right now, no, he just like, Izuku was just like, he just pops up right in front of him, and he just like takes the sword out of him, and he's just like, well, Kachan, I believe now is the perfect time for this. And he just like flicks his fingers, and like all of the camera feed that goes completely blank. None of the teachers can see what's going on in there, and basically Izuku just has the sword in front of his face, and he just licks the blood off. And Izuku's like, the hell are you? You're not Izuku. Izuku is nowhere near this fucking crazy. And Izuku was just like, well, there's only so much someone can take before they, you know, go a little bit off the grid. Only so much bullying someone can take before they want to hurt the other, the person responsible for their being so miserable. Kachan, you have bullied me for some 10 years, I believe. A good 10 years. 10 or 11, I don't know. But somewhere around that amount of time. And around that amount of time, with me still keeping my sanity, you would wonder whenever I would snap. He would just like, you would wonder whenever I would just snap. So, now that I have, I advise you to stop your shit, or else the next time I stab you, it will be all the way right through. And all the way right through your heart the next time. This time, it was only one of your kidneys. The next time, if there ever has to be a next time, it will be all the way through your heart. Or head, whichever one I feel like. And no one will be able to stop me. As you can clearly see, no one is able to stop me now. I made it that way on purpose. I don't want to be interrupted while I'm teaching you a lesson, Kachan, about do unto others as you want done to you. That's the golden rule, Kachan. I thought they told us that all the way back in elementary school. The golden rule. You just seem to have completely forgotten all about it. Well, I hope my little remembering to you allows you to, become a better person. And he's just like, I hope that helps you improve yourself. And yeah, see, like Kachan is just like, uh, 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 please, just and like, like freaking Izuku's just like, uh, oh, it wasn't all the way out. Well, shing. He just does it really fast. Like ripping off a band-aid, Kachan. Like ripping off a band-aid. And Kachan is just like, he knows not to scream. Like, unless like to alert someone that he's being like tortured. And Kachan really doesn't want to alert anybody. And the reason why he doesn't is because, he has the idea that if Izuku knew that he alerted somebody that to think that he was being tortured by Izuku, that Kachan was being tortured by him, that he would do something way worse than what he was originally planning to do if he didn't learn his lesson. So that's why Kachan covers his mouth whenever he screams to like muffle the sound. And Kachan is just like, please, just I'll I'll pretend like I'm out. Just just the tape, the quirk nullifying tape. Just just get away from me. And Izuku was just like, fine then. And Izuku was just like, fine then. Have it your way. And then whenever Izuku gets all the way up there, he's just like, oh, you're having trouble with Ida. And he just pops in front of Ida, and he's like just punches him out with one attack. Like, before Ida could even see what was happening, he just punched him out with one attack. Like, teleported right in front of him and just knocked him the hell out. Like, Star KO from freaking Punch Out for, like, the Wii or Wii U or something. And he just walks over there and touches the bomb. Like nothing happened. Like, he didn't just scar Kachan for life and, like, punch the shit out of Ida with one attack. like teleport right in front of him and then punch the shit out of him with like one attack. And he's just like, yeah, I'm getting bored of how easy this is. So Uraraka, how are you feeling? And he just realizes that Uraraka is panting. And he's just like, you actually were having trouble with him? Well, I guess not everyone is the main character of the story. And Uraraka's like, what do you mean main character of the... And Izuku's just like, oh, shit. Never mind, Uraraka. And Uraraka's like, what do you mean never mind? And like Izuku's just like, bink, and just like teleports himself out. He's just like, as soon as he hears the words, the heroes have won. As soon as he hears those words, he like, bink, and teleports himself out. And he's just like, ah, sweet Jesus. Sweet, lovable Jesus. And, All Might would just be like, All Might would just be, you did it so fast, and it sounded like some sort of muffled scream was in there. What happened? And basically, he'd be like, oh, Recovery Girl is dealing with it. I just, my power sort of has to deal with multiple different things. And one of those things being, those, really dulled weapons you gave me. I can kind of switch out with the ones I actually wanted to use. And so, Kachan got a good stab in the kidney to make sure that he never acts the same way that he acted to me for 10 years. Or 11 years. I don't even remember how angry I am right now. To anyone else ever again. And Kachan is just like stumbling whenever he says it, stumbling to his feet, and he's just like, yeah, exactly what he said. But don't worry, I'm gonna be and he almost falls down. It's just like Recovery Girl, and just like has to heal his injury. And All Might's just like, man, this kid is all sorts of levels of sadistic. And like freaking Izuku was like, another one of my powers is I can hear people's thoughts. And calling me sadistic like that isn't very hero-like, All Might. And All Might's just like, what do you mean? And he's just like I said, I can hear people's thoughts. I can hear you call me sadistic in your thoughts. But, I'll forgive you for now. Anyways, yeah. I'm gonna go home after the whole thing. And as I was just like, well, considering what he almost, did to Bakugo, if Bakugo were to start something again, I would hate to see what happened. So, yeah, Izuku, you get a free pass. And All Might's like, yeah, sure, you get a free pass, buddy. And Aizawa and All Might, after Izuku goes home, they're just like, Aizawa was just like, what did he mean whenever he said that about you, Toshinori? And Toshinori, who is All Might, Toshinori is just like, Aizawa, I don't know what's up with that kid, but I have to find some way to find out more about it. And basically, Izuku, he basically beep, and like he's already back home, and he's like, what a boring day. Nothing was really a challenge. Nothing was really a challenge to me. And then he all of a sudden hears like his mother screaming. It's just like, ah! And Izuku's like, what the shit? And basically, OP Deadpool is just like, the suit now! And basically, like, okay, everything. And OP Deadpool's like, original Deadpool is just like, yes, everything! And he's just like, boom! And everything, including the teleporter and all of his weapons. And even like the freaking mask this time, because this time he can wear it because he's doing his superhero work instead of the whole class work. He's now doing his superhero work because he's wanting to save his mother, even if this does mean she knows that he's Deadpool. And basically he's just like, okay, where's oh wait, what the shit, giant freaking robot arm? And he's just like, what the shit? And then the person is just like, oh yes, it's you, the one Norman called Deadpool. Is this perhaps your mother? And Izuku was just like, get the hell away from her, you son of a. Just like I had to alter that line a little bit. The line from, I think it was like Alien or Aliens. It was Aliens because the Queen was in Aliens. I believe it was in Aliens that Ripley said that line. You know, get away from her, you bitch. He basically says that, but instead of get away from her, you bitch, he said, basically, Izuku says, get away from her, you son of a. Instead of bitch, he says son of a bitch. Because, Otto's a guy instead of a girl. Like, it was a xenomorph queen, not a xenomorph king, so, it makes sense why she was a bitch. But, Izuku's fighting Otto, who is a guy, so he would say son of a bitch instead of bitch. So basically, that I just had to. I felt I had to explain that. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. But I just felt I did. You know, Otto was just like, "Oh, well, what if? What are you going to do if I don't?" And he's just like, "You, you, you." And he just like he goes all full. He like goes all out. He just like, DP, you have any ideas? And DP would just be like, well, I've always been wanting to try this out. Cable really seems to like it. And before you ask, he's one of my friends, I guess. I guess you could call him a friend. X-Force and everything. All that jazz. And as soon as Izuku hears X-Force, he's just like, Cable from X-Force. Oh, yeah, your friend, your buddy. Oh, you mean his gun? Oh, his gun? Oh, hells yeah! And he just gets Cable's gun, which, if you don't know what Cable's gun looks like, X-Force, you guys should really be seeing more Marvel content. And he just like has Cable's gun, and he's just like, this is what's gonna happen if you don't let her go. To you. And Otto, seeing as he kind of has Cable's gun because All for One's like infinite freaking knowledge. He's just like, he would tell them about Cable and X Force and everything, so they would already know about X Force and everything to do with like Cable. And basically, Otto would be like, I can't combat Cable's gun right away. I have to have some sort of hostage. Wait, I already have a hostage. And he would just hold up Inko right in front of where, Izuku was aiming. And he would be like, you don't want to hurt your mother now, do you? And, Izuku would be like, you mother. He's just like, I said, I'm done with this. I'm done playing around. And he just jumps onto Otto's shoulders, and he would just have Cable's gun right in front of Otto's face, and he would just be like, you don't want this to go the way it's about to go, Otto. I believe that's your name. Like, you don't want this to go the way it's about to go, Mr. Octopus guy. No, you definitely don't. Because I'm pretty sure you do know how it's going to go. And, Otto would just be like, octopus man or whatever. Octopussy man. Like Octopussy man? And basically Otto would be like, damn it, how fast is he? If you're wondering how I was able to get to you so fast, teleportation. And Otto would be like, teleportation? What the hell do you mean teleportation? And he's just like, yeah, no, I don't care. Anyways, he would just like teleport right to where Inko was. Like he would teleport onto one of the arms and like blast it with Cable's gun. And it would just like freaking like the arm would be off and Inko would be falling in like the part of the arm that was like severed off by Cable's gun. And Inko would like have to fast reflex get over to Inko, touch her, and then teleport so that they would both be able to be teleported without like being attached to the arm. Because if he touched the arm and teleported, the arm would be teleported as well. But since he just touched Inko, Inko is teleported as well. And basically, Izuku is now looking at Otto, and he's just like, "Damn you, you boy!" And Izuku's just like, "Oh, if you only knew." Anyways, back to killing you. And he would just blast him with Cable's gun right in the chest. And he would just be like falling backwards into like a giant pool of water. And like it would like electrocute the armor. And Otto would be like getting electrocuted, then all of a sudden he would disappear. And like smoke that Izuku swears he can remember the color of. Like, wait, it's that mist guy. And basically, Kirigiri would show up again, and like Otto and Kirigiri would disappear. And he would be like, damn it, why does that keep on happening? Is that Miss guy like friends with that other guy? And he's also friends with Otto? And seeing as I heard about how Norman just seemed to disappear in a cloud of mist, is he friends with him too? Are they friends with each other? And Inko hears about all this and is just like, it's possible that the octopus person that attacked me could have something to do with this. And it's just like Izuku is just like, damn, 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 it all. And she's just like, who are you? And Izuku would just be like, it's difficult to explain, but maybe, once we get back to the house. And Inko would just look and see that the wall that was broken through their house would just be repaired completely due to plot breaking powers. And it would just like, they would enter through the door and basically go up to Izuku's room. And she would just be like, why exactly are we talking in here? And she would just be silenced as soon as just taking the mask off. And he would just be like, that's why. And Izuku was just like Inko was just like, uh, Izuku, Izuku, you are the person who did all that? But heroes don't kill, and you. And Izuku's like, yeah, I know, but there's kind of a little bit of a situation involving that. And three voices in my head. And Inko would just be like, wait, what? Tell me about it after we eat some dinner. How's about that? And Inko's just like, fine, after we eat some dinner. And then they eat dinner, and after that, basically, Izuku tells her everything about the whole identity and everything, but not to tell anyone else, as even if like she believed that like she was sure that they could trust them, even if she believed that, not to not to tell them, because things can turn on like things can go bad at the turn of a dime. Like friends can become enemies, or enemies can become friends at the turn of the flip of a coin. And Inko's like, well, do you have proof of this? And Deadpool is just like, well, yeah, I'm proof. I mean, I used to be the little adorable cinnamon roll Izuku Midoriya, but now I'm Izuku Midoriya, or Deadpool, the one and only hero that does kill. Because believe me, I have blood on my hands. You may not be able to see it now, but it is there. In the form of sin that I have committed. That sin being murder of a fellow man or woman, whoever was helping that kingpin guy. I'm still looking for him. I've settled as being a superhero in disguise. I still want to be a hero, but this whole superhero thing has kind of come with the package of, being Deadpool. That's kind of a thing that I kind of have on me, no matter what I do. But hey, at least I enjoy doing it. And Inko was just like, wait, how can you enjoy killing people? And Izuku was just like, Inko was just like, how can you enjoy killing people? Is it because of those things inside of your head? And Izuku was just like, hey, they have names. Besides, no, it's not just purely because of them. I have become accustomed in the past to the rule of no killing. But seeing as I'm no longer the same Izuku Midoriya as I used to be, now I have a different rule set to myself. A rule set that there is no rule set. And Inko would be like, what do you mean a rule set that there is no rule set? And basically Izuku would just plainly say to her, that's just it. A rule set that there is no rule set. I basically can do whatever. I can't be killed, and whatever I want, I can get, just pull it out of nowhere, like an elephant. And he would just, Inko would just hear, next to their house, the sound of an elephant, and she would just be like, what the? And he'd just be like, and now gone. And then, the elephant wouldn't be there anymore. She'd be looking out the window, and all of a sudden, the elephant's gone. So yeah, the rule set that there is no rule set. And that also involves the whole killing, no killing rule. That no longer applies to me. If I deem them that they don't deserve a second chance, or such a chance as to change to be good, I kill them. But how if I deem that they do have that chance, I let them live. It's kind of like a whole thing that revolves around karma. I have respect for those that I believe can change for the better, but if I see that they can't change for the better and will only change for the worse, or will just be stuck in the same, limbo of, you know, shittiness, I guess you could say I am under the belief that they don't deserve to live. Because you do know, with creation comes destruction. And Well, there aren't too many humans that I believe deserve the privilege of being the one to cause such destruction. However, myself, being eternally locked in with you know whose, I deem myself worthy of causing such destruction. I am a symbol of both creation and destruction, Mother. I am a pure symbol of it. A pure symbol of the do's and don'ts of destruction and creation. So, whatever I destroy, I can create again, or create it into something new. And vice versa, the other thing, different rules apply. That's what vice versa is. Now, I'm pretty sure that you're not gonna like me after hearing all of that. And Inko was just like, no, Izuku. And basically, Izuku was just like, what do you mean, no? And Inko was like, even with all these changes, you're still my baby boy. I can still see it in your eyes. I can see other things, but I can also see you. I can also see, even though you've changed, there is still you. It's still you, it's just that you've changed. But it's not a change that I can't love. It's not a change that I can't love just as much as I loved you originally. And basically Izuku was like floored by this. He's like, whoa, OGDP, like CDP, SDP, did you guys think that this was going to happen? Like, was this in the original script? And like the OG DP and the two other DPs would just be like, actually, no, we did not foresee this at all. And the OG DP would be like, your mother really does seem to love you. In order to go through all the hell this would cause, you having this much of unlimited power and this much of pretty much being indestructible, the hell that would cause for people that would get in your way, or anyone, you know what I mean. And she still loves you just as much as before. Your mom. Your mom's a pretty sweet person. And Izuku's like, thanks, DP. OG DP. Thanks, guys. Because basically, all three of them would be saying that to Izuku, and basically Izuku would be like, yeah, my mom is pretty cool. But enough of that. We still have a certain kingpin that we have to look out for. And about that octopus-looking motherfudger, we're gonna kick his ass soon too, aren't we? And all the Deadpools agree with this, especially OG Deadpool, and he'd be like, yeah, we're gonna kick his ass especially. And they'd just be like, well, it looks like, boys, we have 3 things we gotta do now. Get through this hero school thing, take down the Kingpin, and make Mr. Octopus Guy suffer, well, hell like he hasn't suffered before at all. And that is where I'm going to end off this story because 44 freaking minutes, holy shit. Anyways, the Dark Shadow Maverick is out. Adausis and, Adausis and Alonzi and Adausis, the Dark Shadow Maverick is out, and he doesn't seem to remember what his freaking outro is. Adausis,